I love it.
It's a step up already.
Well, I mean, look at my lovely background. Today we're in Tulsa. I love it, Brian, though, that we still stay in opposite rooms,
Yeah.
even though we're in the same house.
It's easier.
It looks like he's still in the same room that at your house.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah. I'm between two twin beds.
That's brand consistency right here.
Yeah.
Just find a white wall.
Yeah, well, I don't have that. I mean, I guess I could have moved this back a little bit, but
if you like.
No, not at this point. This is super fire.
The Between Two Ferns is the best background.
I love Between Two Ferns. It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's really cute.
Yeah.
More specifically, though, they're philodendrons. They're not ferns.
Oh. Wow.
Man,
wow.
Plant shade.
Just, for the plant community out there.
Yeah.
I did a whole article somewhere about Black women being into plants. Like, that's the thing. That's all. That's the whole vibe.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's generationally, it's a whole vibe because none of us want kids. And and most of us are pushing our responsibilities back to later and later in life. And so we still want to feel like we can care for something and grow something. So a lot of us adopted plants is that in our life.
That makes sense.
Sure does.
So, okay, so I know we don't talk politics here, but the world is still happening. So there are a lot of organizations, and okay, so I'm fine with this. There are a lot of people who are not, and that's okay. So I have a lot of people reaching out to me, asking to help them source candidates or send job descriptions through my network, etc. Now, I'm fine with that. But I also hear people saying, don't ask me now. So can you tell me why people feel like that? And am I going to be crucified for add people to companies?
No, you won't be crucified for it, but I think that other sentiment comes from more of a place of pain that our initiatives have been unheard for so long and have been ignored for so long.
Absolutely.
That people, want to be a part of the conversation. They're coming from a place of pain and hurt when they say, don't ask me now. Yeah. I'm with you on that, where, my whole calendar for the rest of the week, and earlier this week, we were talking to friends about how they can better diversify their deal flow. And a lot of them were funds, to be honest with you, that I applied to jobs at years ago and never heard back from, or tried to co-invest in a deal and never heard back from. So my initial gut reaction is that same feeling, but it's much more important long-term that if we have the resources and the time to do those things for those groups, then we have to do it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of these people I've known for a long time. They all know that, at Hillman, we've been working on the same problem, which is a problem, right? We have a problem. We are the solution for that problem. So they've known this for a long time. They have teams that are not diverse. And now here's all the light on their website and the About Us page, right? And you can't make a statement without making some corrections to your About Us page. These are all very nice people. It's very frustrating that they waited until now. But here I am trying to support this cause.
I'd rather now more than never, though.
Now more than never. You're absolutely right. Yeah. How do we feel about all of these funds creating new funds? Like SoftBank.
Who was the other one? There's one more.
A16Z. I know I've seen one more.
Right. I don't want to confuse it with a lot of these new mentorship programs that have also come out this past week.
I feel they're painful.
We don't need any more mentorship.
Please, no more mentorship. Stop.
To me, for you to even say that you want diverse people in your pipeline for your mentorship program, what you're really telling me is I don't see you as legitimate enough deal flow to be in my investment pipeline, so you have to sit in this other pipeline.
It's so insulting. It's helped. It's even kind of unnecessary. Like, ugh.
We got programming on programming on programming for the entire Black community, right?
Correct.
Like, I think we already have enough. Founders Gym, New Me, Hillman, like you name it. You can keep going through all of these different cities. I think we already programmed it. We don't need somebody else to start programming it, especially when they don't understand us.
Write checks.
Just write checks.
Just write checks.
Yeah. I struggle with the SoftBank funding. I don't think I know enough about the Andreessen Horowitz funding to have an opinion about it. From what it sounds like, and this is just from what I've read, so this is not coming from a place of fact. So from what I've read, what up, Kobe Wu?
Yes, Kobe. Higher or higher.
So from what I've read, it's a donor-advised fund. And so people are donating to a fund. Right now, there's like $2.2 million in it. And they're trying to add to the fund. My problem with that is that it's coming from a place of philanthropy and not from a place of, I'm putting this money in for a return. You can get a market rate return from a company founded by Black people. We're not here as for charity.
What a radical proposition, Candace.
I'm not asking for charity. I'm asking for the same opportunity that all the white fund managers have. And so I'm not certain who's running that fund over there. I'm certain that they're great. From what I understand, they've been at Andreessen Horowitz for 5 or 6 years already. And so it's good that there is a Black fund manager getting an opportunity to run that fund. I just hope that, it's just set up in a different way. That's all. It's great to.
Well, the SoftBank fund is like the opposite. It's bigger size and it's a fund, which is great. The problems there are, it's not clear that, well, it is clear that the 2 Black advisors are on the investment committee, right? So
from what it looks like on the website, yeah.
And that's what they said they were. So the idea that we have so many, and I mean, this country has a ton of minority-focused funds that are run by white fund managers, which never succeed in finding the deal flow necessary. I'm not familiar with a single successful Black fund focused on Black entrepreneurship that's run by all white investment committee. I can't think of a single one. This is shocking, I'm sure, to some people.
Wait, you're saying you don't know of a single fund focused on minorities that's run by an all-white investment committee?
No, it's successful.
Oh, okay, because I was going to say, I know some.
No, there's a lot.
You said successful. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Yeah.
I'm just patiently waiting to see these funds hire people that look more like me on their investment team.
Can we get a little bit of that?
That's what I'm waiting for. I feel like that's the absolute root of the solution to all of these people's problems. Literally all of them. If you have Black people in investment roles, in sourcing roles, and check writing roles that can not only present deals, but also call out the BS and bias on your committee when it happens in real time, you don't have these problems anymore. You just don't. And I'm tired of people saying we don't exist. I know hundreds of people who try to break into VC or break into PE and they can't because of some bogus networking issue, but they're Harvard grads, they're Columbia grads, they've been in consulting and iBanking, and they're wildly talented. But for whatever reason, can't get a job in our industry. But someone who's the nephew of the partner of this fund, who knows nothing, right? Because he's related to an LP potentially, gets the job instead. It's ridiculous. Over it.
I mean, I like that comment on there, Lexi for president. That's a good one.
Listen, let me turn 35.
Jeff brings it every week.
She does.
Whatever they do.
You know, I'm over here trying to be the Queen of England, not pissing the entire world off. So,
like we say in the YouTube video, the building is on fire. Like,
I love that video. Do you know what I'm talking about? He's talking about the one.
Maybe we should.
I'm not doing that. Oh, you were going to show it?
I mean, Marlon could come in here and try to find that on YouTube.
If he found the building is on fire on YouTube, I would die. Maybe at the end of the show.
Yeah, they will just.
Oh yeah, it's 30 seconds.
There you go.
I have to see it now.
Yeah, pop it in the chat for Marlon Voice of God. Also, Marlon Voice of God, we've got requests for you to at least come back and say a little your voice out here once a show at least. Wow, Candace just used the same link in her browser and then killed her session. Yeah, I know exactly that's what happened. I know that's exactly what happened.
Ooh, she's in trouble with Marlon. Ooh.
You need that tab open. She's saying back.
Wow, but while we wait, thank you, J Brath and Tech Culture. Like, absolutely. You guys get it. Oh, she's back!
It's okay. Nothing happened.
So I said, Candace used that same browser window to pull it up and kill the set. Is that what happened?
Don't tell nobody. My business.
I know my wife.
You know exactly what I did. It was just like, boop, it's gone.
Hey, whoop.
Who do we have tonight? I don't remember. I do remember, but
We're gonna yell that. Alexia, do you want to?
We have, I'll go ahead and get started. So tonight you're watching live. Welcome to Twitch Pitch. It's the very first live stream pitch competition on Twitch where you, the viewer, vote for your company, the companies you like best. So on Tuesday we had Hustle Clean. Who else did we have? Hustle Clean.
Bottle.
And I want to say, music book.
Fact of the matter is this isn't in the notes from today. So let's just start with that.
True. So first I'm going to go through the rules really quick. So if you're new to Twitch Pitch, let's review. During round 1, we watched as the startups presented their pitch deck in 5 minutes or less. Then the judges began their Q&A. After we selected viewer-submitted questions for the founders to answer, in the end, the audience and judges had the opportunity to vote in the poll below for the company they like best. The most simple way to determine which company you like best was to ask yourself, would I invest in this company? 12 companies pitched over the first 6 episodes during round 1, but only 6 were able to, sorry.
Was that a cat?
That was my cat. He wanted to join the show. But only 6 with the most votes were able to move forward. And guess what? The tiebreaker was the audience vote. So tonight, on the second episode of round 2, the founders will again have the opportunity to confront and question the judges about comments they made behind the scenes. But first, the judges and the audience will watch part of each pitch.
This is not going well.
You didn't see the door behind you? Oh, look the door behind you.
It scared the heck out of me. I don't know what to do. Okay, I'm going to answer this question from my child. This is never going to happen again. I hope people are enjoying this.
So the companies are competing for $100,000 in credits from Amazon Web Services, free access to PitchBook, and a grand prize of $5,000 in cash. The judges, our panel of judges, are from the team of Lightship Capital, including myself. Or no, not including myself. I'm sorry, that's in the script. These are real firms pitching real investors for real cash and prizes. And the first company pitching tonight is QuickWit. Then we have BrandXR and Undock.
Love it.
That was very
This
distracting.
was a blooper. Like, we're just gonna cut this up as bloopers and definitely put it up on the Twitch page. Marlon, voice to God, I need you to remember that. We're gonna cut up that opening.
Oh my
Kobe, I'm so embarrassed right now. You have no idea. I mean, there's no lock on this door. This is terrible. Okay. All right. Let's clean it up, folks. What's next?
I guess we should just go to the first company and pretend like that.
Like none of this is happening. All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So, Alexia, we will see you later.
Bye, guys.
And then we'll bring the team in the movie from QuickWit.
I'm so glad we sold these sponsors before they saw this episode.
When was the last time you played a game that was challenging, exciting, and rewarding? Maybe a long time ago, maybe even never, until now. QuickWit is a trivia gaming app and digital marketing platform that introduces players to physical consumer products through daily challenging trivia questions. We ask multiple trivia questions every day. The first person to answer wins a prize mailed directly to their house, no strings attached. Our motto is play trivia, beat the competition, win the prize. You have 15 minutes to answer one of our questions. We do give you a heads up 15 minutes beforehand to let you know that it's coming. But it does happen randomly throughout the day. So it could be at noon or it could be at 9 p.m. Yes, you can use the internet. No, it will not be that easy. You will not get this in 2 seconds. Trust me, we work hard to make sure that these questions are challenging, but also still fun. And more importantly, there's always a new prize up for grabs. You can always jump into the app to see what the next prize up for grabs is. But as much as we're that fun game for the consumers, there is a QuickWit for businesses because we're more than just a game. We're a platform where you can come to promote your products. So new products, old products, and even products you want to keep moving on the shelves. You can also raise brand awareness with QuickWit. So imagine sponsoring a trivia question. Imagine having thousands of users and eventually millions of users coming and scouring your website, your content to learn about your company in order to get a leg up on a competition and get the questions right. And most importantly, product sales. Within the QuickWit app, we are actually sending all of our players directly to your product page so that they're seeing the product on your website. We have the competitive advantage because there's no mandatory pay to play. We have fast and reliable shipping. Our players win something that's actually tangible. And it's really, really fun for a lot of our users. And that's one of the big things that we wanted to focus on is being spontaneous and making it so that, hey, anyone can join and play and making it a really trusted experience so you don't feel like you're playing against bots or bidding. We're really chasing out the 58% of those Americans that play games on their smartphones. And out of that 58% of those guys play those puzzle games. So we're really chasing just over 12 million users as a serviceable, obtainable market. Our business model has 4 main legs. For consumers, we have in-game purchases, we have premium subscriptions, and on the B2B side, we have sponsorships of both prizes and questions, actually. And then you can also do some add-ons if you so choose. Because we have our good analytics, you may decide you want to pay a little bit more to sponsor a question on a particular day or a particular time within a day. Our traction has been amazing so far. We're 100% bootstrapped with a mere $200 monthly marketing budget. We have 70% monthly active user rate. We're in 49 of 50 states. We're growing 68% month over month. And we ship prizes to over 300 states, including Hawaii. And we got our first customer just 3 months after launch. At our core, the Jeopardy alumni are crushing it. They are addicted to it. And they really make up the core movers here, along with some trivia night organizers and professional hosts, and even some Who Wants to Be a Millionaire game show alumni. We're a pretty creative and technical founding team with a lot of experience building apps and products and digital marketing solutions. Fun fact, our lead content creator was actually one of our power users just a couple months ago, and he decided to switch. And next thing you know, he's on the team, and we're up to 7 from the 3 that we started with.
Yep, I'm good.
Excellent. In case you were thinking about stopping it right there.
Nope, you're right.
All right.
Steven?
How's it going, guys?
We're going.
Steven, this game is so hard. So I've been playing. I wait for my little alert, and then, I wait my 15 minutes, and I go in, and the question every time crushes my whole spirit. So I've tried. Will there be a level for those of us who aren't Jeopardy alum?
Short answer is yes. We've after crunching a lot of the data and doing a bunch of user interviews over the past couple months, we realized that we do need to fork the game a bit to have a pro level and a regular people level. So that is happening, and I'm spending my next upcoming Saturday figuring that part out. But yes, it will be forked.
Awesome. Tell me a little bit more. I know we went into it a little bit last time. How you're finding folks with a marketing budget to be on the platform.
I think one is there's not a lot of bidding, like if you like bidding for keywords on trivia.
Okay.
So we took a lot of different routes. So of course you did your regular Facebook ads and Instagram ads, which had some success. Surprisingly, we did not do Google ads. And then we were chasing before, when college was a thing and everybody was actually there. In college, we were actually going around to schools and mentioning schools and associating that with questions as well. So, like the Berkeley School of Music here in Boston was like, hey, maybe we thought, we would tag them on Twitter and say, hey, did anybody from Berkeley get this? So we sometimes rope it into questions depending on the school organization. And then recently, if you've been on, you've seen that we had our first sponsor question. So we rolled out a release just about 10 days ago or so, where other people or companies can actually sponsor it, and it shows a sponsor. And one of our first partners is actually a trivia company based out of Florida that actually wanted to start sponsoring questions. So we did that as well. So just a little bit of more building relationships with different trivia communities, different schools, as well as businesses as well to really get the word out on top of that.
And I know we may have gone into it a little bit last time, but what's the exit strategy for this company?
For us, we look at it as, we're not trying to be the next HQ. We're chasing the longevity of the marketing platform, and we want the game to be a little bit stickier along the more Jeopardy lines. So for us, it's more to become a platform and segue into even product reviews. If you could think about over time, people are now getting, let's call it a $500 product for free. And that unboxing that experience and talking about that product maybe not as harsh as if you spent $500 or something and it's not as good and as great as you thought. So we actually look at getting into product reviews as one of our ways, as well as leveraging a platform for physical brick and mortar bar night systems to say, hey, use this platform as your trivia management system instead of the way you've been doing it today. So looking at that, and I think overall we've looked at some social media sites at potentially acquisition, and I think that will eventually be the route we go. But right now we're just focused on the growth because I think it's just too early to really sit there and kind of try to beat on a Facebook door or Snapchat door per se.
Absolutely. All right, who's up next?
I have a left field question that may be instructive both for you and for the audience. One of the things that we teach in some of our week-long boot camp classes is when you have a product that would do well from advertising and seeing more eyeballs, but then advertising is expensive, where can we get those eyeballs from? And some of the places in the spirit of thinking differently aren't always where we would imagine. So I say that to say, there are a number of unicorn brands that posted ads on pornography websites, and those sites.
Here goes the story. Are we sharing this with the general public?
It's part of class, but I mean, why not? This is what you're trying to learn.
Also, let's keep in mind that this also goes on YouTube, which has very strict regulations about what you can and cannot say on the platform.
The word pornography, it's not like that. The word pornography is pornography.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not trying to censor your comment here, but I am.
So let me finish the question. The question is,
Just say websites like food.com. Let's use food.com as an example.
okay, .com, which is like what I just described. So if you're using a site like that to get literally like millions and millions of views for like $500, is that an approach that you would consider, or is there, obviously because of the brand you use for the site, would that cause some kind of conflicts? So how do you balance that growth versus brands?
Gotcha. And let me make sure I understood this correctly. Okay. So the way I balance that would be, we cast a wide net to start when we were advertising to get the word out. And it's a lot of, marketing is a lot of just trial and error. So for us, we really didn't limit ourselves because I wanted to keep an open mind about what it is and what it can be. And I don't think that, we're still an early enough company to where we still don't need to limit ourselves about what it is and what it can be. And so our theory and the way we operate here, it's let's try it. Hey, let's try it and let's see and let's measure. So the way we've been operating today is not really to say we belong in this box, we belong here. Our way is, hey, let's try it and let's see, and then let's measure and see if we should try to invest a little bit more into it. So I don't really have a box I'm trying to confine us into. As we're exploring all possibilities to see what works, what ticks, and then where does that lead us to?
That was such a beautiful, beautiful answer. Excellent.
Classier than classy.
But that's what you for the founder, right? Can you take a question like that and can you turn it into a bouquet? And that's what we hear.
On the realm of much more appropriate questions, tell me a little bit about, as you grow and expand, tell me more about your strategy to attack your B2B side, and how do you continue to assure a high level of quality of all of the products and brands that you work with on that side?
Yes, actually, so our B2B side is using other companies as bait. So prime example, when we started, it was, hey, let's use the Amazon products for bait. And one was that we can get the shipping, we can get it fast. And when we started last year, it was like, we got as many Amazon products as possible because we knew the shipping was fast. So really what that strategy is leveraging, hey, let's say you're a kitchen gadget. Hey, we've given away kitchen gadgets, or we've had a lot of votes on kitchen gadgets. And that's what we did with the sous vide cookers was, we put it into a voting system, which in the app, you vote between questions. We say, hey, which one of these 3 products would you like to see within the app? And we cycle those questions out. And because we have that mechanism, we learn a lot, and we know which prizes that people are not voting for and which prizes people are voting for. And those prizes are not necessarily in our possession. Some of them are like, hey, I'm thinking about this company. Maybe our users may like it. Let's put it into the voting system and see if it gets some votes. So we use our own app and our platform and the users to help dictate and guide it. And when we did our user interviews, the refreshing thing was people said, oh yeah, when is this other thing coming? Because I voted for this one thing and I finally saw that come up in the app. So now we're training our users and they're starting to see that, hey, I vote and it has an impact within the app, but that helps us guide, what type of gadgets, what type of products we want to keep tracing. And then one of the biggest requirements for us is that your site has to be HTTPS. And it has to at least feel good and not have like a ton of ads on it. So that is the next level. But we actually do, again, we use a baiting system to say we gave away the similar product, and we also use the voting system. So we even put your product into our voting system, even if we don't work with you just yet. And then I go to companies and say, hey, you know why your traffic went up? Because I put you in the voting system and you showed up over the past 60 days because it was in the voting system X amount of times. And this is how you compare it to your competitors as well.
Cool. And one last question. Tell me, I don't know a lot about the app space. Tell me about what KPIs drive you outside of, that are different than KPIs that would drive most other people in the digital space. So for you, is it minutes of eyeballs? Is it clicks or flicks as Facebook measures? Like, what are your very specific to your industry KPIs?
Yep. I just finished the article with Built in Boston about this, KPIs. So most people say KPIs, they open the app, but I do not focus on that. I actually focus on if you hit the main prize button and if you hit the main queue button. The main Q button either takes you to a question or takes you to the voting page, and the prize button takes you to view the actual prize. So I look at that, and not only do I look at it as where you hit during a session. So on our history, some people may go back and look at the old prizes on the history page. Some people may look at the active prizes right then and there. So I really focus on those two KPIs, and I look at the amount of people that open the app versus the people that hit those two, take those two actions, and that's really high for us, which was around the 80% marker.
Great, thank you.
Yep.
All right, I think that's all the questions. Any questions from the audience? Well, I'm supporting my stance. I like that.
All right, so our first audience question is, how long before the Android version?
Okay, I'll let you guys know. This is actually, why not? This is a good platform to say it. So we're actually working very hard to get the Android version out for our 1-year anniversary, which will be August 15th. So between now and then, we are working tirelessly to get the Android version out. That's been the #1 request. And surprisingly, #2 has been, can we do this in Canada? But I said, let me get Android out first and work with it. But yes, I'm working to get that out by August 15th. That is what I am pushing the team very, very hard to get done.
Heard it here.
We really appreciate it.
1 year has flown by very fast.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations. I think that's the last of the audience questions. So good luck getting to the next round. You've done a great job. We really appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.
I'll keep playing.
Sounds good. Good luck.
Thanks.
All right, what do we feel about that company?
He's a great founder. This is just a space that I'm unfamiliar with. So if I'm going with that, like, I struggle with understanding, and I need to do more research on return on investment for that type of company. Trivia versus standard games. I mean, I know how often I play, Bubble Pop. I've been playing it for like 2 years, right? I'm sure he's found his cohort. It sounds like he's found his cohort. When I go through this, it makes sense. I'm just trying to figure out, like, what critical mass do you need to get to make this work? So that it's not just a small group. How do you go from being on your college campus? I know he's in 49 states, don't get me wrong. Like, how do you get from that group to something bigger? Or does it not matter in this space to be acquired? I don't know enough. Maybe one of you can help me with that.
Hey, Alexis.
I would say historically in this space, eyeballs are important, but eyeballs are only as important as they convert to being paying customers in some way. So for him, his ability to have these really nice freemium features to give people other things to unlock, that will be the key metrics that really show, does he have a potential to exit? But having the B2B side and having the potential partnerships with other brands is an additional revenue stream that most of his competitors don't have, in a way that he can add on to regular sponsorships. So he has an entirely additional line item that I don't think I've seen in successful companies in this industry before. So it might be uncharted territory, honestly.
That's actually a really good point. That's a really good point. I didn't think about it that way. Because how do you get more eyeballs, especially this particular demographic of people? No, that's a great point.
Yeah, I like his model as well. And I think that he seems to be solving tough problems in an innovative way, kind of time and time again. It hasn't been that long, but yet it feels like the product is really mature. That's very rare to say that about a product kind of this old. And it's a rare skill. You have to kind of, like, early on, know what you're doing, have a kind of inclination of what the market needs, build that thing potentially, but then start to listen after that, right? So you have to go from, like, making a bunch of assumptions that are good assumptions, and then trying to forget the fact that you're doing good assumptions, and then start to go into listen mode, right? Very hard for people to do both things or have both skills, and he seems to have that, right? I think his decision to go Android before Canada, though I love our Canadian friends, I think that's the right choice. And he may have felt pressure to go either way, but he made the right decision. So I think, like every startup, betting on the founder is the key to success, and I think that's true here too.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think maybe Alexis is coming back, or are we just going to announce who's next?
Well,
Actually, I have something to tell the audience before. So the Twitter polls are actually going to open after the 3 pitches. So that's just for everybody in the audience. But up next, we have BrandXR.
I love she just comes out of nowhere. Like,
Just keeps getting
it's very
better.
heavy.
Oh, we can see that amazing bubble guy again.
My name is Kunal Patel, co-founder and CTO of BrandXR. Our BrandXR studio is a SaaS-based, no-code platform that allows anyone to create augmented reality, virtual reality, and mixed reality apps with no prior experience or training required. So basically, if Squarespace and Canva had a baby that could make XR experiences, that would be the BrandXR studio. So we know how powerful no-code solutions can be, and that inspired us to build the BrandXR studio. So before we get going, to give some background on the team, I obviously focus on the tech, but I've also always been the least socially awkward engineer. And so I've always found my way into leadership positions over the past 15 years, being a lead software architect and growing engineering teams. And I also love giving back. So I also co-founded the largest game dev community in the Southeast called Indienomicon, where we had monthly meetups and even hackathons for the space industry. For BrandXR, I successfully scaled a fintech startup you may have heard of called Fat Merchant, from 0 to 5,000 customers and 0 to 85 employees and $20 million raised as director of innovation. My co-founder and CEO, Moody Mattan, he focuses on the business, sales, and marketing. And before BrandXR, he built a VR headset startup inside of a larger manufacturing company and worked in venture capital, where one of his first deals was investing in an augmented reality headset company called Meta. He's a Babson MBA grad and he's worked internationally. So we're a fairly formidable team, and I believe we're one of the best positioned to tackle this problem. Now, this opportunity is a huge one. We're on the verge of a major platform shift in how the world communicates. This is not the first time that we've been here. The next wave is immersive XR experiences. The writing's on the wall. All 5 of the top tech companies in the world have gone on record in saying they're building XR platforms that will desperately need content. We've done top-down analysis, and we found that there is a $2.67 billion annual market for a tool like ours that could help businesses sell, market, train, entertain immersively, which is what their customers will come to expect. And this market is only going to get larger when Apple, Facebook, Google release their XR glasses. The big boys in enterprise side have gotten a head start. They had the pocketbooks to move fast on this kind of tech, and it's proven a difference in their bottom line with larger cart sizes, more conversions over other methods, and a lower rate of return. We build XR experiences from scratch, and we know how hard it is. The average experience takes a team of 5 developers over 100 days and over $100,000, pricing it outside of the budget of most companies. And businesses will need to adopt this XR tech to keep up with their customer expectations. So how are they going to do it? Well, BrandXR is going to offer a monthly subscription fee. It's going to help them save time and money in creating a fantastic XR experience. We're going to have pricing tiers that range from $99 to $1,000, and we're going to give them the ability to create, publish.
Marlon. Awesome.
All right, let's bring in the team. Boom.
Well, hello.
I feel like you're brought up in a circle. I really do.
Hey.
How's it
I
going?
wish there was a way to put him back in a circle.
Yeah, it would be dope if you could have it.
You may remember me like this.
How you guys doing?
Good, good. Who wants to go first?
Not me, because I'm right here behind all these things. So you go ahead and go first.
There you go. All right, I've got no questions about the P word for this one. So last time we talked a little bit about the market. We talked a little bit about the people who are in it and kind of how you're innovating in it. I wanted to ask a question about when you pitch different investors. Is there a set of questions that you hear most often? And is there a question that you hear from the investor that you know, like that person, they know what they're talking about? Like, tell me the difference between like an investor who doesn't know what they're asking you, and that one that is like really, really in your industry, and you're like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's a great question. So let's see. So there's not a lot of investors who are, you know, super knowledgeable about the XR industry. So and especially in our locations, you know, smaller markets, Detroit and Orlando, and so a lot of times we kind of have to explain, you know, the industry and how it's kind of moving along, and kind of the evolution of technology, you know, from like PC to the internet to mobile phones, and then like, you know, XR. This is going to be the next kind of big platform that's going to be out there, and you know, like companies. Exactly, you know, like companies to the tune of, you know, Facebook and Uber, you know, that have been born out of the internet and a mobile phone. You know, these gigantic companies were born out of these platform shifts, and so we kind of find ourselves explaining like this is going to be the next big platform shift, and it's not only going to be BrandXR who's going to be you know, a big player in the space. There's going to be a lot. I mean, look at the public market now, and look how many website builders are out there rocking and rolling, from Shopify to Wix, and you know, like all these other companies. And so, and I think like you also see no code being a popular thing, and that's kind of what we're going for. Is really like making something that's super complicated really easy to do for everyone. So that way we have a massive market of users.
And then what a smart investor is asking.
Well, one thing I do appreciate.
I don't know any smart investors.
Well, no, I mean, I think we've talked to some, you know, investors in the space, and they, you know, they might have invested in an AR VR company early on, and in some way, shape, or form, like we touch it because we touch so many industries. So they like may or may not think that they have a horse in the race. But in my opinion, if you believe in the space, you should, you know, invest in multiple companies in the space, and then, you know, you're going to see a good return on that. And so, you know, that's kind of one of the things that we've seen. But yeah, no, it's it has been a challenge, kind of educating investors about this XR market that is so new.
Yeah, for me, like it's whenever they ask a technical question, like specifically, and then I'm like, oh, whoa, okay, this person actually like knows something, and then like they'll ask a specific question on like how are you going to handle 3D model capture or something like that, you know, for a retail product, and I'm like, oh, okay, wow, okay, he's asking a question about that. And like we'll say like, you know, there's actual capture systems, and there's some that are going to become consumer based capture devices like 360 cameras. There's 360 scanners. That stuff will get commoditized. The cost will come down. We integrate with it all. You know, those kind of things. Whenever an investor asks like a specific tech type of thing.
I want to double down on something you guys said about spaces. So I believe a not so great investor will say, well, I'm invested in Facebook, so I can't invest in anything else that looks like that. I just want Facebook to win, right? An investor that really understands a space will be invested in Twitter and Facebook and other things because you believe the space is so big.
Right.
There's room for Twitter and Facebook and others to be in the same space, and that they're not really competing. If you really start to understand where a company is going, like what their path or plan is, how it's being used currently, how it will be used. So I think it's kind of like lazy investing to not take the time to learn that about a company and a space, and then make assumptions about that things are going to remain static, and that so there will have to be a winner because some spaces are so large, there will be, and there'll be 5 of them, and they'll all be billion-dollar companies, and they'll all do different things.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, to kind of piggyback on Brian's question, so there will be there are quite a few people trying to tackle this space. How much of your growth, or maybe plan to grow, comes with maybe acquiring others?
I think part of that is going to come with just keeping track of the market. We actually have we have a database in which we're tracking competitors, and we track them based on features. We track them based on what we know. We don't spend a lot of time obsessing over that thing, but we have a system for tracking our competitors and their features and the customer types they're going after. So we know where to course correct. I think with Fat Merchant, when we were growing that, we were growing revenue as we were gaining, as we raised more money, we had more in our war chest. We kept it just there to be if the right competitor or the right partner came up, we might acquire. But we were capable of just simply growing, and we might just outpace them, and it becomes a non-factor. So I think just keeping it.
Yeah, and I think to add to that, one of the things that we have going for us is the Orlando game space and this kind of community that's there. So it's built up of 20 startup companies that are all touching AR, VR, or gaming technologies in some way, and we work already very closely with more than half of those companies, and so. That could be something down the road, doing an acqui-hire for one of those companies. And then another thing I will say, shout out that we're actually building a brand right now, kind of under BrandXR. It's like a sister company called Electrify, and we're doing immersive art, and it's kind of like a Snapchat type product, but it makes art come to life. And we've done augmented reality murals, augmented reality merchandise like T-shirts, and we're launching some skateboards later this month with that. And so, Brian, I know you love rocking the tees, so I would love to send you one of our augmented reality tees.
Yes, yes.
We can do it with a lot of different stuff, and so that's one of the things we're excited about is also poking around with building brands under this XR world, because this is. Like we said, we think it's going to be a big market, so we think there's going to be even the opportunity to build other brands under it.
Yeah, we think if a real platform as it grows is going to make a lot of other people very wealthy as well when they use our platform and they can build their business and their infrastructure using our technology. The best thing the best feeling in the world will be when another company makes $1 million using our tech. That will be huge.
Lexi?
More importantly than this entire business, can I buy 5 tees from you guys? Actually pay for them?
Yeah. Electrify.co.
So we're gonna buy 5. The first 5 people to post their sizes in the chat, we will contact you somehow and figure out how to get them to you. So.
Yeah, we have a bunch of products in there, so they can kind of even take their pick.
Man, it would be $5,000, man.
No, we have they're lower cost. They're not too expensive.
Yeah, we should
under $100 type merch.
We should just quickly add a $2 million investment product in that, and somebody buy that.
I want that one.
Yeah.
I think Lexi has a question.
I have one actual question about their actual company. If you had to have a pie chart of your competitors, what percentage would you say are other startup competitors? What percentage are the impending dooms of the big giants doing this? And what percentage are in-house teams that are building this for their corporations?
So of all of our competitors, how many are big players and how many are small players, or how many are?
Yeah. How many are big players? How many are small? How many are in-house teams? Does House have an inside team that does it for them, or Wayfair, where they aren't using an external product?
Yeah. So right now on the enterprise, it's really like the most innovative companies, I would say, in the space. Like the top 5 to 10% of innovative companies in every industry. So like the most innovative furniture companies, the most innovative automotive companies, etc., are like dipping their toes into AR and VR. So that's rare. I would say that's maybe like 10%. Building out an internal team to do this stuff. That's kind of like what we see as the most expensive route to build this capability. And that's really like when we're talking about acquisitions, that's what these companies are doing. Like very few companies now have XR capabilities, and they're going to need them, very quickly here coming up. And so I would say about like 10% in in-house, trying to build out an internal team. And then what do you think, Kunal? I think mostly the big players, because like I guess like the big players are you talking about like who we're concerned about, or who is like eating up the market?
Because so the question is there one competitor that you have that has taken up 70% of the market versus
there's nothing like that yet. Like nobody's eaten up the market or become like a cornerstone yet. I think we can become that cornerstone with our approach. And a lot of the big players that have come in, like that have this kind of technology, they're doing it at an underlying fundamental component standpoint. So like a Microsoft, an Apple, a Google, a Facebook, a lot of those people aren't building a platform that would compete with us, but they would build some underlying tech components that we would actually just incorporate, and we would just integrate with them long term. So they would actually be the ones creating like kind of like they're the ones growing the ocean, and then we're building the ships that go onto it. So we're not concerned with any of the big players. We just keep track on like their features that are coming on and what makes sense to actually incorporate. Like no average person is going to be able to program and utilize those features commonly, but we'll enable it. And I think like at the small level, like there's a couple startups that are all out there that are all trying to do this, and some of them are on the right idea, on the right pathway. Some of them are like kind of mid-tier. They're power user type apps where you still have to code, you still have to program a little bit, and we're definitely going the route of like a Squarespace, a Shopify, a Airtable. Like this is drag and drop, make it really simple, easy to use, with a few advanced features that we learn along the way when we talk to some of these Fortune 500 companies or these agencies. But the goal is to make it no code solution, like truly no code, and make it easy to use.
All right,
Great.
I see some good questions in there, so I think Alexis coming back.
Yeah, Alexia.
Hey. All right, so our first question is there a specific industry vertical that you plan to hit up? Entertainment, retail, sports, etc.?
Yep. Yeah. So the first kind of 3 industries we're focused on is shopping. So kind of these try before you buy experiences where you can visualize a product either inside of your own space or even on your own body before buying it. So that would be the first one. And then the second one is education and training, and mostly focused on universities and corporate education and training. And then the third is kind of general like brand marketing and advertising, things that you would see on like Snapchat campaigns or Instagram campaigns, things like that.
So up next we have Marlon asking, with Apple announcing their Apple glasses here, their UI Starboard seems like it's still going to be focused on with code development. How do you see this impacting your business?
This is the catalyst type event. Like, we've known informally that Apple has been building this for years. Because we noticed that why are you hiring 1,000 optical engineers? Or why are you hiring the way this executive from Luxottica, the largest eyeglass manufacturer? So we kind of have already known this is coming. But we look at this as like a catalyst that would grow the industry, because people want these cool glasses that enable AR anywhere. And then the businesses will be like, well, how do we create content for that? And these, restaurants or like small businesses or even mid-tier businesses aren't going to be able to make content for that easily because you have to code it. Well, we will abstract all that technology, make it no code. We'll have templates that you can easily choose, replace the content, and now boom, you have content on Apple glasses. So we're looking forward to that moment when that comes. Like we'll be ready months in advance.
I just want to double down on that to make sure you already know it's the right answer. I just want to double down so you just know it's the right answer. I started a facial recognition AI firm before this called Kairos, and a lot of investors. What happens if Apple gets into facial recognition, right? Then what are you going to do? So what happens? Apple gets into facial recognition. The day that they launch it, we take over like 100 enterprise leads inbound that day, right? And then way more even beyond that. So Apple going to a space only makes that pie larger, as you mentioned earlier. And it also signals to the world that, okay, this is about to be a standard function across humanity. Right? And if it is, where am I in that picture? Right? Where am I in that world? And then the catch up. How do you catch up? A codeless solution built, and you will have to have built that solution not the day that Apple launches it, right? But years before, right?
Yep.
Those iterations before. And so again, I think you guys are doing it the right way.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming tonight, and good luck getting to the final three. Stay safe and healthy, fellas.
Same to you. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, so up next and last but certainly not least.
A little trash first.
Oh, you guys want to talk a little bit?
Yeah. You're
Muted.
Talk trash about me. First, I'm gonna talk some trash about you. Just remember, like the clock.
You got a format to follow. The people
Here's the deal with these two guys. This company is going to exit, right? Like they know what they're doing. The plan is solid. It's just they just have to continue to like not have any bumps in the road. Like they're just gonna plow straight through this thing. They have the team that they need. I don't have anything to add. I really don't. I said the same exact thing last time. These two are winners.
Great. On to the next.
No, I mean, no. You don't just need my opinion.
No, I mean, I feel the same way. I don't have anything that worries me about this company's success other than some, freak cultural event happening or whatever. These guys they're going to kill it. Like, particularly now more than ever, no one's going to go to a store. If retail is your first market you really want to crack into, no one's trying to go to a physical store anymore. That's it. That is within the freak cultural events that are happening right now. They're going to win.
Yeah. And sometimes getting enterprise companies to adopt new technology is tough, but not when you're a retail. Not when you have to keep pushing. You have to keep pushing. And so I like it. I like it a lot. So while we bring Alexia back, she can tell us what's next.
All right, so last but not least, we have Undock.
Nice.
The way we work has drastically changed overnight. It's always been hard to schedule a meeting, but now you can't even drop by someone's desk. Getting time with your own team feels as challenging as meeting with someone at another company or another continent. It's time for a fundamentally different approach. Undock helps people instantly find time to meet without ever looking at a calendar. It's why we have 1,000 people on our wait list from companies like Stripe, LinkedIn, Robinhood, and over 30 VC firms. They're tired of the endless back and forth emails and playing calendar tag. We've been going about this all wrong. I'm Nash, CEO and co-founder of Undock. Welcome to Predictive Scheduling. Predictive scheduling works like autocomplete. Say you're arranging a meeting in email. As you're typing, Undock suggests mutually preferred meeting times instantly. These predictions take into account what we know about you, your availability, your preferences, and your scheduling behavior. We compare this with everyone else on the email. It doesn't matter if they work at another company or if they're on Microsoft and you're on Gmail. We can even make predictions if the other person doesn't have Undock. It works like magic, and it's always learning. To read dates, to read intent. It's even learning to read any calendar page. We'll do the work for you without you ever leaving your inbox, and we do this without giving up privacy or control. This is incredibly hard, but with our patent-pending AI, we've cracked the code. It's a breakthrough in tech, methodology, and user experience, and it's working. Our power users create 70% of their meetings with Undock and use it every single day, even before the obvious network effects. This speaks to the speed and efficiency of Undock.
Okay, I'm good.
Take Zoe. Arranging meetings between...
All right, here's
All right,
Nash.
I think, yeah, I'm excited. Sorry, I'm too excited. So, Lexi, I think you should actually talk a little bit about your experience this week of using Undock.
Wow. Do we want to bring in Nash first?
I think so.
You can be a part of it.
I mean, hopefully he's in. Yes.
Yeah,
I think it's good news.
Hey, Nash.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Hello.
let's see.
Let me just say, Nash, we have not spoken in maybe a week or two.
Yeah.
I save at least 90 minutes a day now. I don't know if you're checking the back end of what's going on with our teams using it, not to be creepy, but I've saved so much time. I love having back-to-back meetings. I hate having little 30-minute hour gaps. My schedule is just seamlessly done, back-to-back meetings in the morning when I like to have them. I'm done with meetings by 3 and I can get to other work. I'm very happy. It saved me so much time. That's my first statement. I just want to say that.
Thank you very much. That is definitely what we love to hear when people use it. So it's good. It's good.
Incredible.
Thank you.
So my actual first question is more of a founder question.
Sure.
For us and for everyone, tell us again more about your and David's backgrounds. Because I think it's really important. And I don't think you talk about it a lot in the pitch.
Sure. I went to school for computer science, started doing web design, ended up in a telecommunications company. And I was growing that company. We started off with 3 employees, grew it to 21 employees. I started 2 other businesses in the telecommunications industry simultaneously. So I was running 3 companies at that time, and managing my availability became a real problem. And I attempted to try to solve it from a real-time basis. So people calling you, interrupting you, standing outside of your door, waiting to have a meeting. That's where we started to build the solution for Undock. And we'll definitely get back to that. That's still at the core of what I want to do. We now consider that the last mile problem, real-time availability. And right now we're tackling the calendaring space. My co-founder, David, he comes from Zynga. And everyone says that Zynga is a a data company masquerading as a gaming company. All they care about is data, customer acquisition, retention, activation, and monetization. So they'll build a simple game, then figure out how to make money from it, move people to different games, make money from them there. When they get tired of that, move them to the next thing. So I call him the man behind the curtain for our acquisition strategy.
Cool. Tell me a little bit how this public beta has been going since you launched it a few weeks ago.
It's been going good. We get great feedback, much like Lexi there. Yeah, very, very excited. We had someone sign up a few days ago, and they said they're sharing it with Stanford, Harvard, and NASA. So that's yeah, they're part of a COVID response team. And he said, just as soon as he heard about it, he said, we have a nightmare. It takes us literally weeks to get a meeting together because people are all over the globe and our calendars are just packed and they can't find time. So he's using it right now. I told him, just let me push one more update to the public beta before you go to NASA, Stanford, and Harvard with it. But we're very excited about it being used in that capacity.
Dope. Brian?
Well, to that question about, I feel like you're going to have hordes of people at the door, right? I mean, we see some questions even in the chat, like about how do I get access?
Yeah.
How are you thinking about managing that process?
So there's two things. There's the pent up excitement that we want to take advantage of in the best way possible, but we also want to get as many people using it as possible. So we have to find like a perfect balance between letting as many people in, fine tuning the product, and also building excitement around it. So we've already seen in the real world somebody that signed up for the wait list getting an Undock link from somebody that got in, and they were frustrated about them not getting in. So we feel like that whole Superhuman, Gmail, Dropbox invite system that was pretty viral for all of them could be good for us. And right now, about 30% of the people that are on the platform, we did not give access to. They just found out how to get it. So it's good. And with just one more thing also on that, the number of users that we haven't made. We did just make a public announcement today for our beta. We just did a report. 99% of our users are and waitlist 100% or 100% organic, 99% organic. We did some testing with some paid campaigns just to see what that would look like for customer acquisition costs. But right now, 99% of the people are all organic.
I think that sentence still works. 99% of people are 100% organic.
Yeah, it works. I hope I don't get memed for that somewhere.
That's all right. This whole episode is getting trashed anyway because my kid was crawling here on the back, like whatever. It's just a blooper reel, so it's okay. Just kidding.
So why don't we like Alexia to ask the question from the audience?
And while Alexia comes in, I'll just note really quickly, Nash, please feel free. I've just looked at some of the questions. If you don't want to answer one of the questions, just say it's proprietary and we'll move on.
Sure.
So first question is, how does your product learn quickly enough as to efficiently retain users?
Some of that is proprietary, but we do a historical analysis. We look at your decision tree from as early back as your calendar goes, and I'll leave it at that.
How much meeting scheduling data are needed to generate reliable predictions?
Again, as soon as you sign up, we put you in a bucket. We've built personas for people, so we put you in one of those buckets based off your historical history. So we'll say, oh, you're a person that likes this type of schedule. You like to meet on these days. And then we just start learning from the times that you're using and accepting meetings with people. So we have enough data as soon as you sign up there. I saw something in there. Another question. What was it?
I love that Nash is looking for questions. One person did say, though, can they swap their vote for an invite? Wink, wink. I love that.
Sure. Send me an email if you can figure it out. I'll get you in.
So last question, I believe, is this a Google extension?
Right now, it is a Chrome extension. Our full roadmap is to also be on mobile and desktop. So yes, right now it's a Google extension.
Wow. Nash, as always, is great having you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good luck getting to the top 3, and you stay safe and healthy.
Adios. Thank you. Candace, Brian, Lexi, and Alexis.
Alexis is getting the shout outs now. You're just fully integrated.
Alexia. See, don't do. Here's the problem. Here's the problem. So we had someone on the team named Alexis. We called her Alex. And then Alexis, who we called Lexi, started. And then we hired an intern named Alexia, who goes by Alexia.
Yeah.
And it's just all super.
Candace insists on hiring people with the first 4 letters.
Exactly the same. Okay, let's talk about what we're supposed to be doing now here, though. All right. So
what is it about?
This is like these comments are hilarious. What do we? I mean, Nash is. I'm not supposed to be like getting super excited about this, but like Nash is doing something that everyone needs help with is their calendar. And now that we're all virtual, like it's making it even worse. And you're scheduling, I think we're scheduling more meetings now because of the efficiency of being like in the same space all day. So it's become an even bigger problem. Something that like I noticed this time around from listening to the pitch and then listening to him speak is like not many CS majors are able to make the transition to also be the CEO of a company well. It seems as if it works for him. He's able to advocate for the company. And I'm certain that when the time comes to fundraise, like his dynamic personality isn't going to be a problem at all with fundraising. Yeah, somehow it's working for him.
Agreed.
That's a ramble.
Yeah, like nothing, literally nothing to add. I'm not gonna waste anybody's time. So why don't we have Alexia come back and tell us about how to vote?
All right, so now that the show is coming to an end, it's time for the audience to do its part and vote. The Twitter poll is below, and vote for your favorite company. It'll decide who moves on to round 3.
All right, and then I guess shall we take it out?
Yeah, go ahead and close.
Yes, go ahead to the close.
Alrighty, so this episode of Twitch Pitch is sponsored by PitchBook. PitchBook provides the best private market data through the PitchBook platform, a suite of award-winning software applications. The platform allows investors and startups to research and analyze companies, deals, funds, and investors, and service providers across the entire private company lifecycle. This episode is also sponsored by Amazon Web Services, or AWS. AWS is the most comprehensive and broadly adopted cloud platform, offering over 175 fully featured services from data centers globally. Millions of customers, including the world's fastest growing startups, are all using AWS to become more agile and innovate faster. But to completely end the show, well, they'll be backstage, but don't forget to vote for the company you like best via the attached links to Twitter. And thanks to everyone for joining.
You're so good at that.
So great. So awesome. All right. So I guess we're backstage.
We'll go into the backstage section. Boom. We get a little Oh, we need music. Yeah.
Kobe, we're working on it. We're trying to hire some more folks. We need
Well, guys, for people who don't know, who's Kobe Wu?
Who is Kobe Wu?
I wish we could bring her in right now. It'd be amazing. She's like, look, girl, I've been at home all day with these kids. And this company. I can hear it right now. Even though Kobe looks flawless every day. If there's any woman I know that wakes up like that, is Kobe. Like, so whatever. I'm gonna have to put these eyebrows on. So anywho. Hey, Lewis. But who's Kobe Wu? Who's Kobe Wu?
Is that Sulu?
Brian?
Brian, who's Kobe Wu?
Kobe Wu is a transformation. Let's see, no makeup, hair not done. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Looking flawless.
Transformational leader with no makeup on and hair not done right now. She's the CEO of a company called Visual. Actually, we could probably maybe Marlon, voice of God. Maybe you could actually bring up visual.com and show it on the screen.
Oh wow.
That would be dope.
I'll put it in the chat real.
Shay Brad is like,
so
where's my?
I feel like Undock's about to be the new Clubhouse. Feeling exclusive.
You were there first. You were there first. People are gonna start hitting you up like, "Yo, where's the invitation?" Boom. So, great concept, great founder. What this is
great company, not a concept.
Well, the company has a concept.
I get it. Okay, go.
All right. So now more than ever, eye level media is really important. You have all these retail locations that are kind of closing down. What do you do if you're a landlord, right? You got all this empty space. So Visual takes either a vinyl wrap or even screens, puts them in those windows, sells advertising, looks at the eyeballs that are looking at those wraps or at those windows, and then charges them and does a rev share with the landlords. So super great products in market, crushing it. Marlon, voice of God, you scroll to the very top and there's a yellow button that says Be Seen. You hit that button right there. You will see all the locations that are currently available. 72 locations available right this second on Visual in New York and Los Angeles. More cities to come. So Kobe Wu, who's watching us, is the CEO and the founder of this company.
Hillman grad.
Hillman grad.
Yeah. Love that girl. She's pretty cool. Just pushes so hard. God, it's amazing. Now licensing to retail convenience stores and grocery. Let's hear it. See, I didn't even know that update. Yes, queen.
You're getting live information right here on the show.
Coming soon on an investor update. I love it. On Twitch Pitch. I love this. Guys, guess what? Our little concept has actually worked. Whoop de whoop. And we've made it through all 12 companies. Going to the last episode on Tuesday. It's going to be great. 7 p.m. on Tuesday.
But you know what, Candace? This is the hard part where you, with your 2 votes, are going to have to eliminate some people.
We are. So need everybody to vote really hard tonight. Twitter and vote. And then we've got to... No, I have to eliminate 3 people, right? Mm-hmm. Is that what you said? Sorry.
3.
Headphones. This is terrible. They're such great companies.
Yeah.
Yikes. All right.
Well, we'll think about that. Not much to say tonight. We're tired.
Yeah, I think, I'm just black. I'm black and I'm just tired. So you all be safe, stay healthy, all of those things. And yes, we will put in a good word for everyone, Jeff, about this Undock invite. The 35 minimum age for president. Okay, thanks, Jeff.
So wait, here's homework for everyone.
Let's
try to get onto Undock, grab some merch at electrifly.co in the chat.
Yep.
Play QuickWit if you have an Apple device. If you have an Android, just wait a little bit.
Next game starts in 5 minutes, so
if you have children, get them onto Music Book and grab some shower pills from Hustle Clean and stay safe in these tough times. That's your homework.
Woo! Woo!
There you go. I love it.
Right here. She has it right here.
All right, everyone. We will see you soon. Thanks for watching. Good night.